Here's another one. Another thing I believe deep down again is that gay people should stop doing that. Because, and not for any moral or societal reason, I don't give a shit. I have gay friends. That's love. You should respect what they want to do with their lives. But they're doing it wrong. It's not supposed to be two vaginas smushed together. It doesn't make any sense. It's like two buckets and you hold the openings against each other. There's nothing being accomplished. You need to put a thing in a thing, otherwise what are you doing? I mean, gay guys, I get it, because they're putting a dick in a place. In an ass of a man, which, by the way, what better place to put a dick than a man's ass? It's perfect. Even a vagina is awkward. You have to go up and in, and you have to kind of, or she has to splay herself, and you have to go like this. It just looks weird, even. But a guy, you just walk up to him, and your dick's in his ass. That's it. You just walk up behind him. And it's that simple. Just, I'm gay. That's it. You just walk up, you're gay. And then somebody goes into you. That's how we were packed originally, to save space. But the two holes bumped. What the hell are you doing? It's wrong. Not morally, just geometrically. I think there's a hell, and I think I'm going. And like a friend of mine was telling me about how he had sex with a hooker, and it turned out to be a guy. And it was like a horrible thing for him, and he had to get over it with therapy. And as I'm listening to this, I realized, shit, that happened to me too. And the upsetting part of it wasn't that it happened, but that I had forgotten. This wasn't like a landmark in my life like it was for him. Like, oh yeah, no shit, I f***ed a guy once back in Montreal. I forgot about that. I was changing my daughter the other day, and she's too old for diapers now, but she's still in them, and it's bad because this kid does not poop. This kid craps. This is not okay anymore. I was changing her diaper the other day. It was like a 48-year-old alcoholic man's shit in her diaper. Like, she was out all night drinking Jaeger, and she went to Denny's and got a Grand Slam. Ate half of it, got in a fight in the parking lot, and passed out in a Pontiac and shit herself. And her friends drove her home with the windows open and dumped her on my lawn. And now I gotta clean it. And it's crazy. And you can't even react. You can't go like, what the fuck? That's disgusting. You'll fuck them up about their own shit. You gotta be nice. You open her diaper, it's just chaos in there. It's just bananas. It's just... every shit amazes me. I'm never used to it. Everyone, I'm like, okay, wow, what is that? You have been eating diarrhea for a week, I think. Because that's awful. But you can't. You gotta be like, you just go, oh, wow. You really got something there, honey? That's really something. That's really okay. Well, all right, let me scrape that off your knees for you. Just get it down off your back. Just get all this hazmat in one place. Wipe you down. Clean your tiny vagina at the end. Who knew that was going to be my life? I had no idea that my relationship to the vagina was going to be cleaning shit out of a tiny one several times a day. They don't tell you that. When you're getting ready to be a dad, nobody pulls you aside and says, you have to clean the vagina a lot because every time she takes a shit, it goes straight up her twat. They don't tell you that. And they should. It's a big part of being a dad. It's bigger than Christmas. It happens every day. And you got to get it right, front to back. It's very important. The other day, I was in New York City with my kids. And I got 2 of these fucking things. Remember that, please. 2 of them. And we're in the crowded streets. I got this one here, the 2-year-old. She can walk, but she won't. She's a bullshitter. So I'm carrying her. And she weighs like 20 babies, this kid. She's tiny, but she's got the density of a dying sun. I don't understand how she's this heavy. It feels like a fat raccoon holding a bowling ball. That's what she feels like. And the pain in my shoulder is intense. And it's sending signals to my brain like, you don't love her, just drop her, she doesn't matter, just let her die. So I'm fighting that on this side. I got the 5-year-old like this. I hope it's her. I haven't looked back in about an hour. I'm just dragging somebody tiny just through many strangers' thighs. Briefcase corners are hitting her in the temple. I don't give a shit. I'm in a hurry because my pocket's vibrating and my wife's calling to see where I am, even though she sent me to do this shit. And I'm yelling into my pocket like she can hear me. I'm fucking coming! Shut up! And this one is talking the whole time. The whole time. With a tiny voice 2 feet off the ground. What am I gonna listen to this shit? Really? What am I gonna take a knee every 2 seconds? What's that, sweetie? Go ahead, what's that? What? Excuse me, sir. Go ahead, it's fine. Yeah, sometimes dogs are brown. That's very true. Good thing I didn't miss any of that shit coming out of your stupid face. Anyway, so I'm watching The Wizard of Oz with my daughters. Is that enough of a palate cleanser? All right. I'm watching The Wizard of Oz. I don't know if you've seen it. It's about a little girl named Dorothy. A very sweet little girl, played by an alcoholic older lady who lives in Kansas. She has a dog. She's very upset. And she keeps telling, my dog. And everybody's like, this is a farm. We're working. Leave us alone. And then there's a tornado, and they all run inside, and they barely look for her. It's unbelievable. It was so upsetting to me when I was a kid to see this movie. Because Auntie Anne's like, Dorothy! Okay, fuck it. And she just goes right inside, bolts the door. Unbelievable. So Dorothy goes up to Oz. So here's the thing. I was watching the other night. There's this one moment that really stunned me. It's when Ray Bolger played the Scarecrow. He just got ripped apart by flying monkeys. And he's very upset. And he has this performance that's way over the top, even for this movie. Do you remember that moment the Tin Man comes over? What happened? And he's like, well, first they tore my arms off, and they threw them over there. And then they tore my legs off, and they threw them over there. And I've seen this movie 1,000 times. But for some reason this time, that moment made me go, oh, shit. Ooh. That was a lot. And I started to wonder if Victor Fleming, the guy who directed The Wizard of Oz, if he had a moment during the filming of the movie where he was like, I think I gotta have a word with Ray. Because that's getting to be a lot. All right, let him do another one. Okay, action. What happened? Well, first they tore my arms off, and they threw them over there. And then they tore my legs off, and they threw them over there. Okay, cut. Comes over. So listen, Ray. Yes? Nah, you're fine. No, I love my daughter. It's a lot of responsibility that you never think about, though. Like, you got to name your kid. That's a big deal right there. And you know what's amazing to me? You can name your kid anything you want. Isn't that incredible? There are no laws. There should be a couple of laws. None. You can literally name your kid anything. You can name your kid a name with no vowels if you want, like Singleton. Just 40 F's, that's his name. Go clean your room. Some people name their kids a word like sunshine or battery or whatever. I'd like to name my kid a whole phrase, you know, something like ladies and gentlemen. That would be a cool name for a kid. This is my son, ladies and gentlemen. Then when he gets out of hand, I get to go, ladies and gentlemen, please! But you got to be careful what you name your kid. You do have to be careful because what happens is other kids in school are going to make fun of them. They're going to make fun of their name. And you don't have to give them a weird name because they can do it with any name. Kids are geniuses at that. Any name, they take it, they go Louie Screwy,
Joey, Blowy, Mike, your mother's a dyke, whatever. They find a way, these kids. Any name, what's your name? Eric, you fucking asshole. See, just like that. Lightning speed these kids got. What's your name? Joe, eat a bag of shit, cunt face. You see, just like that.
Yeah, and your wife wasn't impressed, you were saying?
Yeah, I came home and I showed her all these offers, and it's good. You guys are paying really good money. Like I don't
Take care of the comics.
Yeah, I don't have a TV job right now, so that's my income.
Yeah.
And I showed it to her, and she's like, "Yeah, great. So you're going out of town, leaving me with the kids." I'm like, "Fuck you. How much money do you make?"
What are you pulling in this week?
Yeah. Would you rather starve to death and fucking let the kids get skinny? You fucking ungrateful cunt.
Now, the only way
who doesn't listen to XM?
She doesn't quite get the point that, this is your job. You don't go on.
And I'm remembering the phrase I was trying to remember. The separation of labor. Is that what it is? The division of labor contract has been thrown away in marriage.
Because I know where you're going to go with this, but I got to ask Louis C.K.
Yeah.
Like, when you married your wife, you were already in comedy, right?
Yes, I was.
So it's not like you were...
I didn't spring it on her. No.
It wasn't like you're working for Nassau, you had a 9-to-5 job, you were coming home, and she knew what she was getting into, that you'd be there to raise the kids. When you guys met, she knew you were a road comic.
Yes. But the way, it's not even that I go on the road. The point is that I enjoy my job.
Right.
So she thinks of it that because it's not like I'm going out and slack. She wishes I was doing a miserable job, and then she would be proud of me
Where you'd come home
for
and go,
debasing myself in order to put a roof over the head. But the fact that I do something that I'm proud of, that I love doing, but it still puts a roof over the head. But because women's liberation... because there are women that have careers, we're not allowed to say that we are providers anymore if you're a man. But the fact is, my wife lives off of my fucking work and doesn't do shit. So if she had a career, then she could go, fuck you with your Open Anthony tour. I don't care. I'm working too.
Yeah, I got my money.
But the fact is, she just eats food that I buy for her. But I'm not allowed to point that out, or else I'm a male chauvinist. Like I'm being a backwards pig by pointing out the fact, which is that if I stop doing these fun tours where I might get blown by a whore or two, that she can't eat anything, because if she tried to start making she's worthless. She has no sense of she could never support our house. She couldn't do it. If we switched places, it would like some dumb sitcom.
You're right.
The kids would be very happy with me because I'm good at taking care of the kids.
You'd be the fun guy hanging around.
And my wife would be unable to fucking
hold down the job.
She's never done it.
Really?
She worked at a Chinese restaurant for 1 week. And the woman who owned it, this Chinese woman, said to her, how come you so slow? And she said, because I'm busy. How many tables you have? And she said, I have 3 tables. And she said, I think you may be Nobi waitress. And she fired her.
Wow. That's how you get fired in Asian.
Yeah.
By the way, I think you Nobi waitress.
I think you may be Nobi waitress.
You may be Nobi.
I was going to talk about Boston, and here's the thing. They have this whole gay marriage thing in Massachusetts, and they're fighting it in the courts, and I don't understand the argument against it legally. Like, I know what their problem is, but how do they argue it in court? I can imagine when they get to the Supreme Court and the lawyers for the gay side are like, well, Your Honor, we pay taxes. There's nothing illegal about what we do. We're the same as anyone else. Why shouldn't we get the same protection under the law that heterosexuals get? And then they ask the other lawyer, and he says, Your Honor, they fucking quit! They fucking quit! That's it, isn't it? Isn't that the whole... Well, okay, counselor, but I don't see what that has to... What, are you fucking faggot? Your Honor, you gotta get fucking beaten. Faggot! Isn't that the whole argument? Or that argument that the soccer moms, how am I going to explain that to my kid? I don't like explaining things to my kid. I don't like talking to him. So you should stop your whole lifestyle. So that I don't have to talk to my kid, you should stop being in love with each other, because, how am I going to, you know what, fuck you, stop it. It's just weird. But, fuck, what was I going to say about that? Oh, yeah, I don't know. I never understood anger towards gay people because it doesn't affect it's actually the one thing that people can do, sex, that doesn't affect you at all. Nobody's being gay at you. Like you walk in a room full of gay people and, oh, Jesus! Oh, gay! I mean, where do you come in? That you got a good... Like, I can understand if you're mowing your lawn and two guys are blowing each other on their grass, like in the middle of your lawn, you're like, come on, you faggots! I gotta cut around you every morning, it's bullshit! Fucking lawn is all uneven. Or if you're eating your breakfast and you're about to put your spoon in the cereal bowl and two guys touch dicks in front of yours. Hey, come on! I gotta go to work. I don't have time to dodge your dicks with my spoon. Outrageous behavior. Jesus didn't die on a cross so you could touch your dicks together in front of my cereal spoon. I'm sure that's not why. I mean, I wasn't there, but I assume that's not why. Couldn't possibly have been on his list. Anyway. Is that even a gay act, the touching of the two penises? I think that's what I pictured when I was a kid. That's what sex is between guys. It's very formal, just. Thank you. Well done. Well played. Right on target. I don't think that's even gay. That's just friendly. Hey, Bill, how you doing? Let's see it. How you doing? Tip of your dick feels nice against the tip of my dick. I know, right?
You're doing a benefit tomorrow at Caroline's.
Caroline's, yeah.
For
New York.
For PlayStation 3? That's crazy.
It's my daughter's school, public school 3.
What the hell is wrong with
You're giving back.
What's wrong with your kid's school?
All the money's going away.
Really?
Yeah. No, the city's cutting all the budgets.
Oh, that's true.
Wow, that's a nice thing of you.
Well, it's my kid's school.
All right, it was a little selfish.
If I had no child in the school, I would throw rocks at it.
Yeah.
just to be mean because it's funny. I couldn't care less about someone else's stupid, ugly child and his education.
See their awful drawings knocked out of the window?
Yeah, exactly. No, and I've earmarked the money for just my daughter's care. No other child is allowed to access a penny of it.
She has a brand new computer. They're eating dust mites.
Yeah, exactly. She's being taught by a Harvard professor, just one-on-one in the classroom.
And do you go to, like, your daughter's stuff at school, like recitals and...
Well, it's not, you don't go to enjoy the show. I mean, it's really narcissistic, stupid parents that shouldn't have had kids.
Yeah.
That hope their kids are good at something.
Good
That's not why you go. You don't go because, like, oh, my kid has maybe gifted at singing. No, your kid stinks.
Welcome.
But you're making your kid feel good by going. That's why you go.
Yeah, that's why you go, so they could look out and go, where?
If it's not your kid, you shouldn't bring other grown-ups and make them go because it's a support thing. It's not. It's not for the. But I go with my daughter on trips with the school.
Oh, the field trip.
Oh, okay.
On field trips, I'll chaperone, and I go sometimes, and I volunteer for lunch recess, because that's a mess. There's nobody there doing it.
Right.
So the
recess,
kids don't get to. They get 10 minutes to eat and 20 minutes to play, and that's it. They're back.
Every day.
It's too crowded.
Back into their cells.
Yeah, it really is like a prison cafeteria. But I went on a trip once to the Botanical Gardens in the Bronx with my kids.
Boar Fest.
Yeah.
Holy plants.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy plants.
That's going to hold a bunch of first graders' attention.
Yeah.
But so we go up there, and we're on a school bus. And it kind of gave me an insight into how this system works, because the school bus, I think of it as like it's the school's bus company.
Uh-huh.
These people drive school buses for the school. It's just a bus that the teacher called in, a yellow bus driven by some idiot. I mean, it's like, so we get on the bus and the guy turns to me. I'm the first parent behind him, and he goes, do you know how to get there? I'm like,
what?
Yeah, he asked me, do you know how to get there? I'm like, no. And he goes, can you find out how to get there? So we're in the West Village.
I never remember stuff like this when I was.
Yeah, so I call up on my phone. I say, just go to the Bronx. We're going to the Bronx. So we're on the West Side Highway, and I call the Bronx Botanical Gardens, and I go, hi, I'm in a school bus full of children on the West Side Highway. I need to know how to get to you. And the lady says, you can't take a school bus on the West Side Highway. That's illegal. And I say this is true story. I say this to the parent next to me, and she goes, "Yeah, this is not okay. This is really bad." And it occurs to me, I've never seen any large vehicle on the West Side Highway.
Now that you mention it.
And when it gets up into the Bronx, it's twisty and turny, and it's not okay. And you're forced into a high speed of traffic because it's crazy.
Yeah.
And so we go under an underpass, and I swear to God, we scrape the top of the bus. The whole bus goes grrrr and shakes. And I swear to God, the bus driver yells, "Oh, oh crap!"
What you yell when that happens?
Yeah. And then the rest of the underpasses, he kind of ducks his own head down, really, like he kind of crouches.
Aims for the arch in the middle. It's a little higher.
But we got up there, and nobody. I brought waters. I asked the teacher, like, should I get a bunch of bottles of water? And she's like, I guess. And I thought, well, that's because I'm like over parenting. No, it's because she just didn't care if people drank water.
Unbelievable.
And nobody brought sunblock. A lot of kids died. It was really, it really was like.
That just sounds like abuse. Yeah, what the hell?
It was a disaster. But you know what? The kids, we packed these kids, these heated, it was like summertime, these sweltering hot kids, unfed, into a little tiny classroom. They take you to these beautiful places, and then pack you in a classroom, and you have to listen to somebody.
Oh, God.
But the woman showed them how a seed becomes a plant.
Yeah.
Totally riveted audience.
Oh, really?
Totally fascinated.
She was killing.
Yeah, she was killing. I learned a lot.
Yeah, about how plants grow.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that an apple
boring.
is food for the seeds inside of it. I thought it.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either, nor do I care now that I do. I hate apples even more now.
But I used to like having my mommy go on there because I was such a mommy boy, crybaby, little wimpy girl. I was. And I used to make her dress up like a whore.
What?
Like, I really used to make her dress up like a whore.
What do you mean you made her dress up?
She worked in, like, nightclubs. She was a go-go dancer and stuff like that. I'd go, like, could you wear those, the knee-high boots and the red patent leather mini skirt? And could you put your hair in pigtails? And all the, like, kids would be like, oh, your mom is so pretty. and I felt like good. Like, I felt all good. And we went to go see You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown at Radio City Music Hall. And Mom was a field mother, and she wakes up that morning. We're supposed to leave. And she goes, Anthony, I'm so sick. I'm so sorry. I can't go. I start crying. And she's like, all right, I'll do something. So she's swigging Pepto-Bismol. She was hung over to the point where she's puking. She got a horrible hangover. Now she's got to get on some diesel-y bus, dressed like a slut.
With her daughter son.
Yeah, with her crying daughter son. Her boy girls. So when she said she couldn't make it, I was just...
Well, most people end up screwed up because they were molested by their parents, but you're screwed up because you molested your parents.
I was trying to molest my parents.
It's totally opposite.
Yeah. I was trying to molest my mom at the time, I guess.
Wow.
Dressing her up.
I started going to the trips with my kid because the teacher asked me to, because they'd go to a show, and my daughter can't take a show. She gets really upset.
Why?
Drama. She gets really, really upset.
Where does that come from, you think?
I don't know. She takes things really to heart. She's very sensitive. So
How old?
She's 7 now. But it's been like that her whole life. Like when she was 3, I showed her a Charlie Chaplin movie, Hard Times. And she loved watching him fall down. It was fun. Yeah. And then there's this scene where him and this other, he's poor in the movie.
Violin music starts.
Yeah, it's really sad. And him and this poor girl.
It's not like he had an expressive face.
No. He and this poor girl break into a department store and start playing husband and wife in the department store. And she says, "Are they married?" And I'm like, "Well, they're pretending they're married." She thinks that's so cool. And then the cops come and they arrest him.
Oh, no.
And she just starts bawling. She was so sad.
I find that hysterical. Kids are stupid.
No, she's so sad for their lives being broken up. He's going to jail. And also, she's also sad for America in the Depression. Like, that's the...
Wow.
Like, she just felt all of that.
That kid's too perceptive.
Yeah, she knows too many things.
Maybe she said her dad didn't bring home some cartoons and instead indulging his own whimsy with a Chaplin film.
That's absolutely right, Jim.
whimsy.
The teacher asked me to go to trips because she would always scream and run out of the room when stuff happened in these shows.
People are saying
so
she
I come along.
Cried less than me, though.
Yeah. Well, I used to try to talk her out. Like we went to a show once with these little puppets, and it was a moment that was really a little over the top. Like they overdid it. Some puppet goes, "Those look like rubies." Oh no, it's a dragon's eyes, and the puppet starts screaming and gets eaten. And my daughter, the scream that she let out with her hands over her ears.
Oh no!
Is something I'll never forget. I'll never forget it. It is the most frightening sound it was the sound of somebody being killed.
Ugh. Really?
And so I dragged her out. And
we're outside.
I just start hitting her. I don't know. I just wasn't thinking. I was just hitting.
Who thought it was okay that a kid could see something like that?
I don't know. I mean, the other kids are bored because they play, PlayStation.
Yeah.
So they kill hookers on their TV all day.
So they can handle something like that.
Dragon, right?
Blue's a good father.
I'm all right.
So wait, what happened?
Oh, so I took her outside, and I feel like I felt at the time that my job as a father is to break her of these fears. And I'm saying, look, if you're going to be able to enjoy some things, this isn't fear. This is about being thrilled. And she goes, but she argued forcibly and just said, no, I don't like being scared. When somebody scares me, I get mad. I don't like it. I don't like when they do something scary without telling you it's going to be scary, and I don't see why anybody would want to feel that way. Like, she made such a case that I was
right in the middle of her.
I gotta respect this, you know?
Should have just went,
no!
Don't look behind you.
All right, listen, we got to take a quick break. Louis C.K.
That's something. What a perceptive kid, though.
Yeah. He's really smart.
A lot of what they teach kids is just to make them polite people, you know? Like they teach them that there's words you shouldn't use. There's bad words. Don't use the bad words. I can't teach my kids that because I do this for a living. But I didn't want my kids to be, assholes. So I used to tell them, okay, look, there's no bad words. There's no bad words. All words are good, bad, nothing. But there's some people that get upset when you use certain words. So if you're going to use those words, look at the person first and try to guess if they're that kind of person. Sometimes you can offend somebody when you weren't even trying to. Like there's certain phrases, certain statements that if you're going to say them, you should say them without stopping in the middle. Certain things, if you're going to say them, don't clear your throat in the middle. Okay? You don't want to say things like, there are too many black people suffering from discrimination. We need to stop the Jews from feeling excluded. I once fucked a baby, and then I fucked him again. So I want to get through that one. Otherwise, people get the wrong idea. They'll think you only fucked that baby once. But it's tricky, if you're trying to teach your kids right from wrong, you got to choose a side often because not everybody agrees on what's right and wrong. So how do you know? Like abortion, some people think it's murder, some people don't. I think people should get abortions, like a lot, like as many as you can. You should try to get a lot of abortions. I live in New York City, and it's okay there. I live in a nice building. I never lived in a nice place before. When I was growing up, I had no money. My mom didn't matter. I was a child. But I'm not used to it because it's nice. There's like a pretty courtyard with flowers and a fountain with little marble boys pissing. I don't know. What is it with fountains? Like all fountain sculptors are pedophiles, basically. You can't get a fountain made without... Can you make me a fountain? Yes, I'll get started right away. Oh, yes! Yes! It's finished! And it's just little boys pissing on the face of a Greek god that looks like him a lot. It's piss on me forever! Anyway, there's one of those in the courtyard of my building. And... My first week in the building about a year ago, I went down to the Courtyard for the first time. And I didn't look too good, you know? It was a Sunday morning. That's my least presentable hour. There's a lot of, just stains, just like, food and me and whatever. And so I'm sitting there. So, shut up. Oh. Anyway, so there I was. I'm sitting on the stone bench of this Courtyard and feeling a little out of place. There's these fancy doormen and stuff. And then there's this guy looking at me. I notice he's looking at me from across the Courtyard. And he's all spiffy looking. He's got brown shoes. And he's looking at me like, I could tell he was thinking I don't live in the building. He thinks I just wandered in off the street and sat in the Courtyard. And I could tell he's thinking of coming over and dealing with me on his own. And I'm sitting there thinking like, oh, please do that. Yes, please, come on. And I'm trying to look even more gross. And I'm like pulling up my shirt. And then I see him go, oh, no, that's not going to do at all. And he comes over to me. And I'm like, I'm so excited to have this thing. The confrontation where I'm not wrong at all. And he thinks I am. So he comes over, says, excuse me, do you live in this building? And I said, no. Because why not start there? I said, no. He goes, well, then what are you doing here? And I said, I just need to rest. I'm having a hard time. He says, this is private property. And I said, well, I don't really believe in that. Just the worst things I could say from his point of view is basically all the things I was saying. And he goes, well, if you don't leave, I'm going to talk to the doorman. I was like, can I just stay like 5 more hours? So he's, no, and he goes over to the doorman. And I see him talking about me to the doorman like this. And then I see the doorman going, oh, no, that guy lives here. That's okay. And the look on his face, it was just this beautiful cocktail of anger and confusion. It's like I had invented a new way to hurt somebody's feelings. That's how excited I was. So how have you all been enjoying living the way I already was for a couple of years before all this shit? Welcome to my life. Can't work, can't go outside, can't show your face, gotta wash your groceries. Because I got cum on the groceries. That's why in my mind, that's what it means. Maybe that's what you were thinking, but. I have a solution for the pandemic, by the way, for COVID. I have it. This is it. We test everybody, first of all. Every time we find somebody who has COVID, you kill them. That's it. That's the solution. You won't need another one after that one. That's the final one. It's been pretty amazing to be alive during this thing, during COVID, because you're not going to see this again. And wow, did we learn some shit. That's really the things that teach you in life are things you never would have chosen to do for yourself. I mean, think about your life as far as it's been where you have the choices, where you're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to pursue this. It all goes to shit, every bit of it. And even when it goes right, you're like, why don't I like it? It's what I wanted, but why don't I like it? Because it's your choice, and your choices are based on fear and fucking just thin, stupid, shitty hopes. But when life just kicks you in the balls and you're like, oh, fuck, everything's different now, and it shows you shit you wouldn't have looked at otherwise. That's the great joy in it. And what I thought was really interesting about COVID, and still is that it's the first thing I've seen where everyone on Earth had the same problem. Every human being on Earth had the same problem. We never had that before. That's why we don't give a shit about each other. Because you read like, oh, there's floods in Houston. You're like, fucking water. What is it? What's your problem? Floods. What is that? Just walk like this. What, you can't handle some water? My basement floods. What the fuck? Who gives a shit? Like, he's on a canoe in the street. That looks like fun. Why is that an issue? There's fires in California. Blow it out. You fucking blow out a fire? Get the water from Houston and dump it on California. Fucking deal with it. But we all had the same problem. Every person from Zimbabwe to Tokyo to Newark to Honolulu, everybody was doing the same dumb shit. Every person had the same stupid fucking moment at the same, just trying to get the mask out of the well of your car door. Trying to, I gotta go in Walgreens. Where's my fucking mask? You try to, it's got pistachio shells in it and pennies. Shit. I'm sure it's still effective. I actually liked the masks because everybody looked nice. Everybody did. Because it's just their eyes. Eyes are nice. You never hear somebody say, that guy's got gross eyes. It's really, we should hide these. We should keep the masks, because this is disgusting. How do we just, with no shame, look inside my face? Spit at a tongue and teeth? It's fucking gross. Cover your mouth. Don't. I'd rather look at your asshole than your mouth. I really would. I'd rather stare into your asshole than glance at your mouth. Assholes aren't that bad, not to look at. We don't like to think about assholes, because like they're, the shit and the farts and the diarrhea. But that's a small portion of their time. You ever really look at an asshole? You ever really look? Once you see it, like, in nature, it's a little, that's all. That's your asshole. It's like, you know what it is? It's just an aperture. That's all it is. That's your asshole. It's like a camera shutter. That's all it is. It's like the opening to the James Bond movies. That's what your asshole is. You ever go to lick somebody's asshole and there's a little guy with a gun in there? That was bad. Something's changed when you get older, Like, I've reallocated some of the noises that I make. Like, the noise I used to make when I come is now the noise I make when I pee.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Take it all, bitch.
I'm very disrespectful to my toilet. Unfortunately.
Yeah, bitch, you like that, don't you?
I'm gonna shit in your mouth, too, because you ain't nothing but a shitty, piss-drinking telet. Dumb bitch, telet. Got my piss on your lips. You ain't intelligent. What do? You sit there all day on your ass, waiting for me to shit in your face. Dumb bitch, telet. Tuh. You ain't even special. I pissed in 3 toilets today. Shit. Quit crying. I love you. It's bad. Well, that's how my dad treated his toilet, so that's where I learned it. Anyway, that's the noise I make when I pee. Some of you might be wondering, none of you are wondering, what noise do I make when I come?
Okay, so this is the noise I make when I come. It's not that special. I just go like this. It is done! It's a whole thing with a cloud with funnels of... There are crows come and there's lightning. The circle is complete! And there's a little witch floating with white eyes. And a child will be born, and then... I don't know. It's kind of intense. And some kid throws a lightning bolt at me, and I go, and then I go to sleep for 1,000 years. It's a...
Because, look, my mom just died. She just died. That's how it works. By the way, for you young people, here's how life goes. One of your parents is going to die, and the other one is just never going to fucking die. And guess what? It's not the one you wanted. Nope.
Where, like, people die, but then you stay. Yeah. And you're like, fuck, so I guess I always live? Right?
Right, because you have lived.
Yeah, and I keep missing it. Like, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like,
so every time someone dies, I go, another one, man.
Right. So every time somebody dies, it's really about your survival. It's really just another sign that you're never going to die. That's. I don't think that's narcissistic. It's just retarded. I'm pretty sure that's just.
No, he died and I'm here.
I think I could.
Here's
go
a good
decent.
piece of trivia, and don't look it up.
Nope. Okay.
Here's a quiz question. Who is Johnson, Lyndon Baines Johnson's vice president after Kennedy was shot? Who became the vice president? Your mother's cunt.
Oh man, it wasn't her.
It wasn't your mother. It was her cunt.
Her cunt was a. Wait a second. This is a history podcast.
Yeah. When he ran, he got somebody else, but he called out, Joan, I need your cunt to be my vice. He called her from Dallas. You know that famous picture of him on the plane? He called her right before that. I need your vagina to be my vice president.
All right, so let's start from the top. Mom, I'm so sorry that he said that.
Love it, or do you hate it? No, he's bothering me so much. When I was a kid, I was bullied, but I was bigger. I was bigger and I was bullied. You're still bullied, even though you're bigger than a kid. Bullied by littler kids than me. Like, oh no, this way. This is a flashback. And I was bigger. I could beat the out of you.
And I saw a Korean Jesus. They had a Korean Jesus with the... Don't get mad. How else would I know? It's just what Korean Jesus. Ooh, whatever.
I don't get why there's an FCC that can make those rules. I don't understand it. It doesn't jibe with what I understand about America and the First Amendment. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, they're just words, right?
What?
They're just words.
Yeah, but you want to let me finish?
I mean, don't you feel a little bit like, I don't know. Don't you feel like you're special?
I did when I was a kid. I did.
Yeah, I still feel that way.
Well, when I was, you still feel like that. Yeah, I can see that. I see that.
Like any other, even a musician, even being a musician, and not there, what are you doing? Don't be a musician. That's a stupid thing to do for a living. But if it doesn't work out the way you wanted, you can look at these. You got these guys here. These guys. Okay. What are you talking about?
Airplane one time, and a married couple came on, and they had been sat separately. There was some mistake. The woman, she's supposed to sit here, she comes up to me, she says, would you mind moving so I can sit with my husband? And he's behind her, he's like... And I wanted to help him, but what am I going to say to his wife? Just, no, I won't move. So I just got off the plane. I didn't go on the trip. And it took off, and it hit the World Trade Center. So that was...
I remember you weren't of this world to me. You were like I just had never seen anybody that looks like you or talks like you.
Average.
You were like a alien who studied human behavior and got close but didn't quite get there.
Some Catholics believe that contraception is murder. They think if you wear a condom, if you stop a sperm from getting to an egg, you killed a possible baby. By that logic, I could say that any woman that won't fuck me is a murderer. Let me tell you, there's a bunch of murdering bitches out there.
Sex is weird, though. You know when you're having sex with somebody, you start to make those noises. You know those sexual noises? You ever feel weird about the noises you make during sex? You ever listen to yourself and go like, where the fuck did I pick that one up? What the hell was that? Because sometimes you make the oddest noises. You really get into it, you're like, woo! That'd be fun to make that noise with somebody that you're having sex with for the very first time, you know? After all the tension that built up to it, right at the moment of passion, you go, just to watch their face going, shit. Fuck, man, another one.
What is the best advice you can give for like a student and like attitude when you're doing that? Because you kind of say a big F you to a lot of people, and I like that.
Say, you mean
I like attitude when you're
what attitude?
when you're when you're in the production, which you've done it all, and what's the best attitude to really give?
The best attitude in production is really really wanting to help a lot, really wanting to help whoever's show it is be really great. I think that's anybody who's doing any job, really. Should want that job to be done really well. I mean, this is a simple answer, but it's really true. Yeah. There's one person really usually that has an idea of how to do something, and everybody else should really want. I mean, it's such a rare and great gift to get a job in show business. It's very, very. It's not. You're not going to get one. I mean, statistically, you're not.
You know, because if you go to France, they just have no sympathy. No. But even if they're not in France, French people from France are that way. Yeah. I was in New York once, and these French people came up to me and asked me for directions, I guess. Like, they just asked totally in French. Right. It was amazing. They didn't even do like a, how do you say, or something like that. They just walk up to me and one goes, and I was like, I'm sorry, I don't speak French. And he's like, je le tété, le chete, le pete, le poing.
So I have mild racism. It's benign. It's not aggressive. It's not even negative racism. It's mild racism. I'll give you an example. Okay, like if I go to a pizza place I've never been to before, and it's run by 4 black women, I'll go like, See, it's very mild. It's extremely mild racism. I'll notice that. Yeah. You don't usually see that, 4 black women running a pizza place. Unless it's called 4 Black Girls Pizza or something like that. Like, that's the whole point of the place.
The thing is that Ellen is not a popular person. She's kind of a rotten, smelly, awful,
she sucked when I met her.
Is she not a nice lady?
Idiot. She's. I wish we were on XM so I could describe her completely.
Of course,
but I can't. I know people that work for her as writers, and she's dope and mean to people.
Oh, easy, Lou,
like
on the language.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she's a spoil sport.
She's a real ninny.
She's a right rotter, isn't she?
Yeah. Yes, she's a right rotter.
Yeah, she's
yes, most definitely.
Was she a good stand-up in her day?
Yes, I think she was.
Okay to say?
She was a good stand-up. Okay.
She was fine. She was all right. I know she never made me laugh really, but because she's got that way about her.
Being a leather.
Well, no, not that one. Yeah, I don't. Who cares about that? But the fact that she has this sort of MO means that people pile it on.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, look at her working. She shouldn't be working. And whatever, that story. You know what? I've had a show where I had writers, and often I'd look at them and say, you guys stink, and I hate you. So the stories about how tough she is on the writers, that I take with a grain of salt because
I guess
there's a natural, you got to crack the whip, and also there's a natural thing where the person who's on camera is taking the hits for bad jokes.
But would you do it in front of a live audience?
What's that?
Would you do it in front of a live audience?
Oh, no, never.
I think that's what the story was about. Yeah, she did a joke and it sucked, and she goes, "Why would you write that for me?" And she was dead serious.
Wow, I don't know.
While they were in break.
Yeah, no, she sucks.
You had good writers on Lucky Louie, man.
Every one of them.
It was funny, man.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day, what if there was a baby who was born, and there's been a lot of fucked up babies. There's all kinds of babies born. There's been babies with, connected at the face to a dog or whatever. There's been babies with 3 legs, with hands on them. There's been Chinese babies. That's the worst thing I ever said. I think I just finally said the worst thing I have ever said. That was totally unredeeming and horrible. And it feels good. It feels good to have found the bottom. It's a comfort in knowing that I just said the worst thing I'll ever say in the rest of my life. It's good. All right. Yeah, I'm not a good guy. I am not. I wish I was a good guy. I like the idea of being a good guy. Sometimes I have an opportunity to be a good guy, but then I don't necessarily do it.
Great. Jesus Christ.
My daughter's in kindergarten.
Where did he get that?
Well, I don't know. I don't know where
I
he's
was
been.
way behind.
Yeah, I know.
I don't have any of those stories from when I was younger.
I remember I loved Kelly Howell when I was in 2nd or 3rd grade. I had such a crush on her, but I had shit my pants a lot in school.
You shit your pants a lot?
You were a pants shitter? Horrendous. It would always smell like rust. And I was standing in line one time, and Kelly Howell was right behind me, and she's like, "Did you go poops in your pants?" And it was my first attempt at sarcasm. I'm like, yeah, sure.
It doesn't work when it's true.
No,
though.
of course it doesn't. It was a confirmation that I had indeed I had flat, it looked like a shit nail head. Like I had flattened it by sitting on it. It was cool. There's nothing worse than fucking cold, rusty smelling shit in your underpants.
Oh, that is horrid.
And she knew you shit yourself.
How could she not have? As I was standing there stiff-legging, trying to get out, smelling like shit. I shit my pants all the time in school because I only wanted to shit at home.
I remember I shit my pants in school once, and it was like I just basically coated the inside of my underwear with diarrhea. And I went to the bathroom, and while I'm in the stall, Michael Boyven, the toughest kid in school, and his gang came into the bathroom.
Come on, Woim.
Yeah, exactly. And I was standing on the toilet with my shit underwear in my hands, just praying that he wouldn't kick the door open and find me there.
Would you have been embarrassed?
And I had no choice. I ate it. What else could I do? What else could I do?
I wish Michael Boyden would have found that fucking underwear in your hand. You might not be here today. It might
I
be
wouldn't be right here.
Kill
no.
you.
No, I'd be with him right now. I'd be married to him.
My best shit story happened when I was 31 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've told it a couple times. Rick, our old producer for this radio show, I was down in Florida, and I was meeting his what would be his future wife for the first time, and it was a big deal. And we went out and we had a little lunch, whatever. And I had an upset stomach all day. And it was when like boxer shorts were really in, so you're a little looser, right? And I had shorts on and I had like sandals on, and I was saying goodbye on their stoop, and I thought I could sneak out just a little bubble fart. And this is a true story, man. A little nugget fell out. Rolled down my leg, bounced off my sandal, and just rolled to the front of
Take that with you.
Like down to their feet?
Oh, pretty much. It couldn't have been more perfect.
You know,
how it just rolled and landed right
That was
at their
my
feet.
last milk dud. Get all mad.
That's how they say goodbye in some countries. That's actually how you say goodbye.
That's a cookie in Haiti.
That's how I met his future wife, and then I said,
That's how they fell in love?
I don't feel good, and then I just shit my brains for the next 6 to 8 hours or something like that. I ended up not leaving. I had to lay down back in their place. I ended up having just food poisoning or something was going on.
Shit myself.
Oh, it was
shit myself.
It was just one little nugget, and I was already in my 30s.
Oh my god! When I was on writing on Conan, I was a writer there, and I was laying awake in bed one morning, not getting up yet, and I was sleeping in just underwear, no shirt for some reason. I usually sleep in shirt and underwear. And I just laying there and about, planning to fart.
and just shit. I just shit in my underwear. And for some reason, the fact that I was in bed, mostly naked, it just really upset me. And I was really bummed. And then my phone rang, and it was my friend Dino, who was one of my guys I wrote with on Conan. And I told him what happened. I said, I just feel I don't want to get out of bed now. Like, I don't know, I just don't want to move. This was the grossest thing ever happened to me. Deal with it. And then I got out of bed, I cleaned up, and I went to work, and I opened the door, and the writer's assistant, this woman says, "Hey, I heard you shit your underwear this morning." I'm like, "What the fuck?" And every single person came up to me. Conan said, "Hey, how did that go, shitting in your underwear?" and I go to Dino, and I said, "What the fuck?" And he goes, "I assumed you wanted me to tell everybody."
Why wouldn't you? Right? You wouldn't have told me.
Didn't you tell me so I could spread the news before you got to work?
Amazing. I like piss the bed stories when I was a kid. I think the last time though wasn't one of those, if you're just a kid you piss the bed, because I never did that. It was kind of when you're in your early teens almost, and you dream that you're taking a piss.
Yes. Right.
So you're laying in bed and you're dreaming that you're just taking this fucking wicked piss.
Wicked
piss, and you wake up and go like, oh boy. Pissed all over the fucking bed.
Do you know I did that with that dream when Louie and I were in Bonnaroo a few years, 2003, in to Tennessee. I woke up in my hotel bed and I was fucking, my sheets were. I pissed my bed. This was a couple years ago.
Wet dreams are fucking great.
When I was like,
you just come and you fucking shoot a load in your sleep.
Just to stay with piss for a second. When I was in like first grade, I remember I was in my bedroom just being confused, and I pissed on my bed, like standing there.
That is confusing.
I pissed on my bed, and I remember thinking, I don't know why I'm doing this.
Yeah. Wow, that's weird.
I just pissed on it, and then I didn't let anybody in my room for a while. I just said, please don't go in there, and it just got stiff with piss, and it was really depressing.
Get rid of that bed.
So what about coming in your bed?
Yeah, like when you have a wet dream, and those are just for the very youthful. Right. I don't think I've had one of those in fucking decades. But I do remember you come like in a second. Because in your dream, I guess you've been so worked up that in real life you got a rod and you're humping your bed or whatever the fuck you're doing. And then when this dream girl, the girl in the dream, has her clothes off, and you just like touch your dream dick to her dream pussy.
Yeah.
Dream cum comes out all over the fucking place. And then in real life, you're just shooting your load all over.
You know, a lot of times...
But in your dream, it's like, it feels amazing.
But a lot of times you're not rubbing in your dream, by the way.
No, you
have just so much like sperm built up.
That's amazing, that complete mental fucking thing then. And there's no physical pumping.
But that's why you don't have many wet dreams if you have an active, sex life. You got to really...
dry yourself off.
I've never had one. That's why,
because you're just jacking.
Wet dreams are amazing.
There's a cycle to this, because when I was in 8th grade, 7th grade, 12, 13, that all I needed was 12-year-old, 13-year-old Lauren Tossi in her gym clothes, lifting up her shirt and pulling her shorts down slightly.
Yeah.
That was the picture I had. And I'd come immediately. Like that to me, that was the pinnacle of sex.
Right.
Thank you.
I didn't even. Yeah. No, here's the thing. And then I grew up, and I started getting hand jobs. I started fucking women, getting blown. Coming on asses and faces and tits. And now I'm 40, and I'm back to that. That's all I can really get off.
That's all you can really think about.
A teenage girl showing me 4 inches of her belly.
Yeah.
Let's go to Florida.
Over myself.
What happens there?
No, and a grown woman blowing me. I'm like, can you leave? This is boring.
Let's go to Greg in Florida. Greg.
Hey, what's up?
Fantastic.
Well, I got a good shit story. It's actually twofold. It's the same day.
Twofold?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a twofold. Well, it was about 12 years ago. I used to drive a truck for a bread company, and I
just like how I would have gone old-fashioned for a second. Twofold. The next one would be thrice a shit.
Well, I actually have more shit stories, but this is the best one, I guess you'd say. But anyway, I ate something that morning that obviously didn't agree with me. And, I started feeling it, getting the sweats and, getting the fucking goose pimples on your arm. And so I pulled over the truck, went out in the woods, and didn't have anything to wipe with, so I took a dinner roll with me. And, of course, took my shit wipe with the dinner roll, and as I'm walking back, I saw some squirrels sitting there eating the damn dinner roll.
Wiped his ass with a dinner roll.
That's
fucking great.
You're a true gentleman.
Dinner roll.
About 30 minutes later, it hit me again. So
They're eating dirt cookies in Haiti. He's wiping his ass with a dinner roll. America.
I'll tell you what, it was silky, better than Bob Kelly's damn water
Oh, shit, listen, that could be, you know, wiping your ass with the dinner roll. That is the ultimate.
Yeah.
Fucking, that means that we've got 2 years left in this country. That's the end of Rome. That's the end of the French
When you're
aristocracy.
wiping your ass with the dinner roll.
Wiping your ass with a
He's
dinner
very
roll.
resourceful, though. That's good thinking.
Sure
Sometimes
is.
you're proud of yourself, and it's like, well, I figured this out.
How do you have rolls and not a napkin, though? Where were you?
You drove a bread truck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was in a bread. Yeah, I was out in the middle of nowhere.
Wait, so you opened the big, he opened the big back of the truck and took out
big
one
doors.
dinner roll?
One lucky dinner roll and never going to make it to the dinner table.
Yeah, and then the squirrels were kind of shaking their heads as they were eating it, so I don't know.
No,
right.
they're fine. That part I don't believe.
That dinner roll could have been on the table with a family going, thank you, Lord, for these gifts we are about to receive.
How come there are only 11 of these?
Yeah, wait a minute.
Package?
Right. You go to the shitter's dozen. Sorry, Jimmy. You go for the baker's dozen gags.
Shitter's dozen's funnier. Fucking baker's dozen like an old lady I'm trying to spit out. That's a baker's, is it?
Shitter's dozen.
All right, we're gonna take a break.
A baker's dozen is 13, a shitter's dozen is 11.
My dog, let me just cap it by saying that my dog ate a full shit diaper yesterday.
Oh my God.
There's nothing. That
What the
is
fuck is with dogs?
the worst
What's with dogs?
moment in a parent's life. It's
Ate
worse
the
than anything
diaper
that's
too?
happened. She ate. Well, she doesn't finish. That's the thing. If she gobbled it up and cleanly ate it, I wouldn't care. But I come home and there's the remnants of a full shit diaper all over the floor, and she's got literally a shit-eating grin and shit in her fucking whiskers.
That was like sushi for your dog. Yeah, that was very enjoyable. All right, more shit stories after the break, and
good thing.
And we might have another Stan Meyer situation here, a guy that invented another car that would make us all happy.
Kay's going to be doing the One Traveling Virus this summer. We should have the dates soon, I guess. Soon. I think we're doing 8 to 10 dates this year. There goes our summer. But Louis C.K. is definitely going to be with us. That's very, very good news. We found that out this morning.
Gonna be a pisser.
And your wife wasn't impressed, you were saying?
Yeah, I came home and I showed her all these offers, and it's good. You guys are paying really good money. Like I don't have
care of the comics.
I don't have a TV job right now, so that's my income. Yeah. And I showed it to her, and she's like, "Yeah, great. So you're going out of town, leaving me with the kids." I'm like, "Fuck you. How much money do you make?"
What are you pulling in this week?
Yeah. Would you rather starve to death and fucking let the kids get skinny? You fucking ungrateful cunt.
Now, the only way
who doesn't listen to XM?
She doesn't quite get the point that, this is your job. You don't go on.
And I'm remembering the phrase I was trying to remember. The separation of labor. Is that what it is? The division of labor contract has been thrown away in marriage.
Because I know where you're going to go with this, but I got to ask Louis C.K.
Yeah.
Like, when you married your wife, you were already in comedy, right?
Yes, I was.
So it's not like you were...
I didn't spring it on her. No.
It wasn't like you're working for Nassau, you had a 9-to-5 job, you were coming home, and she knew what she was getting into, that you'd be there to raise the kids. When you guys met, she knew you were a road comic.
Yes. But the way, it's not even that I go on the road. The point is that I enjoy my job.
Right.
So she thinks of it that because it's not like I'm going out and slack. She wishes I was doing a miserable job, and then she would be proud of me
Where you'd come home
for
and go,
debasing myself in order to put a roof over the head. But the fact that I do something that I'm proud of, that I love doing, but it still puts a roof over the head. But because women's liberation... because there are women that have careers, we're not allowed to say that we are providers anymore, if you're a man. But the fact is, my wife lives off of my fucking work and doesn't do shit. So if she had a career, then she could go, yeah, fuck you with your Open Anthony tour. I don't care. I'm working too.
Yeah, I got my money.
But the fact is, she just eats food that I buy for her. But I'm not allowed to point that out, or else I'm a male chauvinist. Like I'm being a backwards pig by pointing out the fact, which is that if I stop doing these fun tours where I might get blown by a whore or two, that she can't eat anything, because if she
tried to start making she's worthless. She has no sense of she could never support our house. She couldn't do it. If we switched places, it would like some dumb sitcom.
You're right.
The kids would be very happy with me because I'm good at taking care of the kids. And
be the fun guy hanging around.
And my wife would be unable to fucking
hold down the job.
She's never done it.
Really?
She worked at a Chinese restaurant for 1 week. And the woman who owned it, this Chinese woman, said to her, how come you so slow? And she said, because I'm busy. How many tables do you have? And she said, I have 3 tables. And she said, I think you may be Nobi waitress. And she fired her.
Wow. That's how you get fired in Asian.
Yeah.
By the way, I think you Nobi waitress.
I think you may be Nobi waitress.
You may be Nobi waitress.
Yeah, exactly.
I had
I'm 41 and I'm single. Not really single, just alone. But I have 2 children, and that's the only thing I'm comfortable with in life anymore. I know how to take care of a couple of kids.
I don't like French toast.
Oh, sorry, that's what we're having.
Mommy doesn't make us French toast.
I go to my daughter's school to volunteer sometimes. My daughter goes to a public school. And I volunteer not because I'm a good person, but because you have to. Because nobody works there. There's just nobody there. You go in this school like thousands of kids, and you go, where is any grown-up right now? And I usually go for lunch and recess. That's when they really need grown-ups, is for lunch to volunteer in the cafeteria, because they have 300 kids eating, and they have one Jamaican lady watching all of them. It doesn't matter that she's Jamaican, but it totally does, because there's nobody who can be mean to 300 children just in the way that the Jamaican lady, and it's not her fault, she's outnumbered. 300 kids to 1, Gandhi would be like, shut up! So my job as a volunteer is to stand there, usually near my daughter, so I can be with her, and then kids raise their hand, and you need to go and help them. Now, usually they need help opening a milk, because they can't open their milks. They can't do it, because it's 2009, and we still put milk in this little paper box. Put it in a bottle. I don't know why we're doing it. It's torture. We put it in this envelope that was invented by some Dutch in 1773. And they can't do it. They can't open it. It's too subtle an idea, a design for a 7-year-old to peel back the paper and then gather it forward into a spout shape. And the glue is vicious, so they have to pick at the corner and try to get it. And they end up drinking out of this finger filth disease spout. So they can't do it, so they raise their hand, and I do it for them. I'm not better at it. I deal with the stress better than they do. I don't cry like a little bitch because I can't open my milk. I'm a man.
Well, where do you want to go?
What?
You want to go somewhere. Where do you want to go?
What is this, a cab? We're at the Bronx Botanical Gardens. We're going to the Bronx Botanical Gardens.
Okay, how do you get there?
What?
How do we get?
Kids did nothing to you. Of course slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Of course it is. Every time it's happened. Black people in America, Jews in Egypt, every time a whole race of people has been enslaved, it's a terrible, horrible thing. Of course. But maybe every incredible human achievement in history was done with slaves. Every single thing where you go, how did they build those pyramids? They just threw human death and suffering at them until they were finished. How did we traverse the nation with a railroad so quickly? We just threw Chinese people in caves and blew them up and didn't give a shit what happened to them. There's no end to what you can do when you don't give a fuck about particular people. You can do anything. That's where human greatness comes from, is that we're shitty people, that we fuck others over. Even today, how do we have this amazing microtechnology? Because the factory where they're making these, they jump off the fucking roof because it's a nightmare in there. You really have a choice.
You can have candles and horses and be a little kinder to each other, or let someone suffer immeasurably far away just so you can leave a mean comment on YouTube while you're taking a shit.